Hello, Senior Stoner fans. This is the Real Senior Stoner back at you for your Carta Erig Faux Dab of the Day. We're going to continue our series with the dry atomizer. But before we have that today, I do want to talk to you about our continuing discussion about what do you do if you feel better. Well, it's not just if you feel better. Life's like this: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. If it was smooth and it was quiet, life wouldn't be very exciting. That's why we're challenged with all these different things. So it's not just when you're feeling better, get a pain plan. It's make sure you don't do too much. What has to happen now is you have to sit back and take stock and remember what's happened in the past. You know, life repeats itself, they say. And oftentimes it's a cycle that just repeats itself again and again and again. Not quite like a hamster wheel, but things move in a cycle. So you can almost look at history, your own life's history, and say, what's going to happen if I do certain things a certain way? In many cases, you're going to say, well, wait, that's happened already. I kind of know what's going to happen. And either I need to be careful or it's okay to do. So it's a little different than a pain plan. A pain plan that we spoke about yesterday is making sure you have a governor on yourself so that you know your body doesn't do things that you physically can't do. This is different. This is an attitude. And it's a very, very difficult thing to master. I have not mastered it. I try constantly, but I highly recommend we all do it. And it's just taking stock of your capabilities, like a self-triage, against all the things out there that you want to do, that you think you want to do, that you need to do, that you have to do. You kind of get a better understanding based on the weight each thing has. So I used to call it my spoon theory, that you're given 12 spoons, like table settings. And once you're out of those spoons, you're done. So with the body, with things that have problems, you have to know what your limitations are. If you can't walk so far, if you can't stand so long, if you can't sit so long, if you can't lift so much, whatever these issues are, you need to be aware of it, because a lot of times when we get caught up, especially with other people, a couple things happen. Vanity takes over, where we want to fluff up and say we are someone we're not, or ego takes over, and we just have our head up like this and want to be perceived a certain way, and it's not accurate. And we're going to overstep what we really can do. And what happens when you do that is you get into what I call the snowball effect. So the snowball effect simply means that once you get on that path, it's very hard to slow it down. You're going down a hill like a snowball, and it's going to get worse. So prophylactically, that means in advance, is the best way to approach this situation. I have found that anytime I'm able to catch myself before I do the bad thing, that's going to make me into either more pain or more stressed out or whatever it is, I'm better off. If I do it and then try to fix it, either it takes longer and it's worse, or it's harder and more uncomfortable, depending on whether it's physical or mental. So it's challenging. I realize all these things are challenging for all of us. The other thing that you have to remember is you don't want to be alone. Now, people who like to read books, like to read comic books, watch TV, go online, I understand all that. Human contact, though, I have found, is extremely important. So part of your plan has to include busting through that membrane, busting through that impermeable membrane, if you will, that doesn't allow us to see other people. And that's another discussion we're going to have, because I really believe there's a reason why people like us have issues being with people, new people especially. I think it's because we just feel so freaking crappy inside that no matter how we look outside, we think we look like the devil and act like the devil, smell like the devil, and are the devil. So it's a tough thing to get over. We'll talk about that another time. But the most important thing for today, besides taking our hit here, is going to be how you approach your capabilities. Make sure you're the person you are and not the person you were. And that's for all people who are 61 years old like me and need to understand we're not 21 again. And I know we all want to be. It's natural to want to be, but we're not. So we have to approach it differently. We have to approach it that we're going to be limited. Call it what it is. We're going to be limited, and it's okay. But we need to know our limitations. I'm firing it up all the way today because I found with the dry herb, the higher temperature makes the clouds, and it really doesn't make it a bad taste. I didn't get a burn taste with this at all yesterday. So we're going to keep it rolling, calling it a dab a day, but it is a dry dab today. Cheers, everybody. Some of you have also asked me, why has my doctor told me not to do oil right now? Very smart on his part, because we really don't know how the oil affects you. There's research on cannabis, but there's not research on these concentrates yet. And the coughing, the real serious coughing happened with the oils and with the diamonds and the extracts. So I'm staying off of that for a while. I'm going to stay on light weed and edibles and hopefully clear myself up. Unfortunately, I have to take prednisone. I don't like it, but I'm taking it right now. It seems to be helping, but it has some effects. You go up a little too fast, down a little too fast, so it has effects on the brain also. But I hope you enjoyed today's discussion and our faux dab of the day. Have a great one, everybody. It's the Real Senior Stoner. Cheers.